I don't believe that if the Google founders were starting today, they would have a campus. They might not even have an office. If you really look at the forces that are happening in the world, even pre-COVID, that model was playing itself out. More than $1 trillion of market cap, all trying to hire people within this small geographic area around, the San Francisco Bay. It's not sustainable. And at the same time, we have, the world getting on broadband, educational opportunities, learning opportunities now being radically open, where people are more gated by motivation and internet access than by, being able to get into Harvard or Stanford or one of these institutions which formerly had a monopoly on great learning. They don't anymore. So when you think of that radical evening out of access to opportunity, of talent, intelligence, I believe being evenly distributed in the world, if you can tap into that, you have a huge competitive advantage. So we're now 1,200 people, about half in the United States. We're in 46 of the 50 states, and the other half spread across 75 different countries. We just evaluate them based on can they do the work. We don't hire based on where you went to school or even previous experience. So it's okay, well, can we set up a trial project for them that just test that thing, the thing that we're going to pay them to do ultimately. It actually doesn't, for most roles, doesn't include any voice or video. So we just hire people purely on text. So that means written ability is really important. You don't really see them, so it removes a lot of unconscious bias from that process. The best of the best, we try to hire. But for the people who make it through it, we have extremely high retention, satisfaction, and I feel like we get a really good set of folks. We do a lot with less people than a lot of other companies. COVID has accelerated distributed and remote work probably by a decade. And in some ways, it's awesome because we've been running this way for 15 years. And it's really satisfying to see so many companies waking up to it. On the other hand, I'm oh no, Stripe and Twitter are now hiring people all over the world. That's a lot more competition for me.